Hello, Robert Ellis from Ellis Co, Chartered Accountants and Business Advisors. A worrying time for all businesses right now due to the coronavirus, and I just wanted to make a short webinar just to show you some of the help that is out there for you so that you don't feel you're alone. My colleagues Nick Charnley will talk about the tax measures and the relaxation of tax payments, which will help you, and also Lisa McLeod, our payroll manager, will talk about the relief under the coronavirus job retention scheme. Extremely important how you can furlough staff at this difficult time. What I want to cover now is I want to cover cash grants for retail, hospitality and leisure sectors. I want to talk about the Small Business Grant Fund, the business rate relief for the retail, hospitality and leisure sectors, the coronavirus business interruption loan scheme, and also the relief available recently announced under the self-employment support scheme. So if I first look at the cash grants for retail, hospitality and leisure sectors, there are a number of grants available for businesses, including a cash grant of up to £25,000 per property for those in the retail, hospitality and leisure sectors in England. These businesses include shops, restaurants, cafes, hotels and self-catering accommodation. Businesses in these sectors with a property that has a rateable value of £15,000 and under may be eligible for a grant of £10,000. Those with a rateable value of over £15,000 and less than £51,000 may be eligible for a grant of £25,000. You don't need to apply for this grant. If you're eligible, your local authority will write to you. And some of our clients they've already made the claims and have started receiving money from some of the local authorities. It is worth, if you think you can apply and you haven't heard it, is to contact the local authority directly. Have a look at the help on their website. For business in Wales, the rules are a little different. The rateable value limit is not £15,000, it's £12,000 for the £10,000 grant. And then for a rateable value between £12,001 and £51,000, you'll get a grant of £25,000. Some of our clients have asked us whether these grants are per company or per property. No, they are per property. So a company that has two properties should receive more than one grant. Moving on to the Small Business Grant Fund. This is for businesses that already pay little or no business rates because of small business rate relief or perhaps rural rate relief. They will receive a one-off grant of £10,000 to eligible businesses to meet their ongoing business costs. This grant is for businesses based in England who are in receipt of small business rate relief or rural rate relief as of 11 March and occupy a property. Again, your local authority will write to you if you are eligible for this grant. In Wales, businesses who employ up to 9 people can apply for a grant of £10,000 and businesses who employ between 10 and 249 people can apply for a grant of up to £100,000. There's also support in Wales for the larger businesses. So these are businesses which are of a critical social or economic importance to Wales. And there's also a fund of a £400 million emergency pot providing those grants, and in addition there's a £500 million economic resilience fund to support businesses forced to temporarily cease trading or to go into hibernation. Moving on to business rates relief. In order to give businesses breathing space, the government has introduced help outside of grants and loans, including business rates holidays for retail, hospitality and leisure businesses in England for the 2020 to 2001 tax year. And as we all know, that's between the 6th of April 20 and the 5th of April 21. Similar schemes are being introduced also in Wales. Businesses that received the retail discount in the 2019 to 2020 tax year will be rebilled by their local authority as soon as possible. There has been a relaxation in the filing of accounts at Companies House, so businesses can now apply for a 3-month extension for filing their accounts. As part of the agreed measures, while companies will still have to apply for the 3-month extension to be granted, those citing issues around COVID-19 will be automatically and immediately granted that extension. Applications can be made through a fast-tracked online system which will take just 15 minutes to complete. So visit the Companies House website for the link to apply. If companies need it, there has been a relaxation in the financial solvency rules. People may know that directors could be accused of wrongful trading if they incurred liabilities or applied for purchases without knowing they could repay them. Those rules have been relaxed. If anybody wants to talk about that to us, then do just get in touch. I think directors still have to be a little bit careful, but the government is keen to see that businesses don't collapse purely because of the coronavirus. Next thing I want to give a brief mention on is the Coronavirus Business Interruption Loan Scheme. This is a scheme that can provide facilities of up to £5 million for smaller businesses across the UK who are experiencing lost or deferred revenues, leading to disruptions to their cash flow. CBILS, as it's known, the shortening, supports a wide range of business finance products, including term loans, overdrafts, invoice finance and asset finance. I would mention, though, do remember that the borrower always remains 100% liable for the debt. So you do need to carefully consider that if you do take the debt on the company, that you will be able to repay it. So businesses who want to apply should approach their own lender first. The interest and fees are paid by when I say the fees, the bank fees, arrangement fees are paid by the government for the first 12 months. No personal guarantees are needed for loans under 250,000. There was a lot of discussion about this in the early days when it came out, and some banks were seeking personal guarantees for much lower amounts. So at least that hurdle has been avoided. You can use the CBIL scheme for a new loan, even if the lender considers that there's sufficient security in the company not to need it. And if this is the case, you might as well, because if the interest and fees are paid by the government, you might as well take an advantage of it. Finance terms are for up to 6 years for term loans and 3 years for overdrafts. The government guarantees 80% of the loan to the lender to encourage the lender to loan. The lender, however, will still want figures to support the loan application, and these can be, perhaps I should say, onerous at this difficult time. So the lender will be looking for the last copy or the last financial accounts, the ones that have been signed off by the accountants, management accounts from that year-end date to the current time, so perhaps the end of March. And they're also looking for a cash forecast to show how the business will be able to repay the loan. They may also be asking for the difficulties that the business has experienced by the coronavirus and how it is about to overcome the strategy it wants to take. At Ellis Co, if you need help with profit and cash forecasts or anything like that, or advice on how to complete them, just get in touch and one of our team or one of my team will be able to help you. There has been a recent support announced for the self-employment, which is called the Self-Employment Income Support Scheme. This was to make sure that people who'd got their own businesses had a level of support similar to those who were employees of limited companies. So I would say that this scheme doesn't apply to a director of a limited company who perhaps will not fare very well because he'll be paid a low salary and normally takes his remuneration through dividends. They can only claim under the Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme. So this scheme is for self-employed people or a member of a partnership and who have lost income due to the coronavirus. The scheme allows you to claim a taxable grant worth 80% of your trading profits up to a maximum of £2,500 per month for the next 3 months. And if the lockdown continues and it becomes necessary to support businesses for a longer time, then the period may be extended. So you can apply if you're a self-employed individual or a member of a partnership and you have submitted your income tax self-assessment tax return for the year ended 5 April 2019. You've traded in the tax year 2019/20, so between the 6th of April 19 and the 5th of April 20. You are trading when you apply, or would be, except for COVID-19. You also have to intend to trade in the tax year 2021, so from 6th of April 20 onwards, and you have to prove that you've lost partnership trading profits due to COVID-19. Your self-employed trading profits must also be less than £50,000, and more than half of your income has to come from self-employment. So this is determined by at least one of the following conditions being true. So you have trading profits or partnership profits in 2018/19 of less than £50,000, and these profits constitute more than half of your taxable income. Or having average trading profits in 2016/17, 2017/18 and 2018/19 of less than £50,000, and these profits again constitute more than half of your average taxable income in the same period. Further details are really required from the revenue as to what total taxable income, how they're going to calculate that, and how they're going to calculate trading profits, whether the trading profits will be after capital allowances. But I assume at this point in time that what we're going to consider, it will be the reported profits on the tax return. And if we look at what isn't trading income is not investment income or property income, either from buy-to-let properties or, I understand, furnished holiday lettings as well. So if you've not submitted your tax return for the tax year 2018-19, they've allowed any late filers to be given additional time, but you must do this by the 23rd of April 2020. HMRC will use the data on the 2018/19 tax return already submitted to identify those eligible, and they have actually said, of course, that they will look at any returns filed late and just before the 23rd of April in a slightly more risk assessment way. How much you get? You'll get a taxable grant which will be 80% of the average profits from the tax years. So if you've got the 3 tax years because you've been trading for that long, then we're talking about 2016/17, 2017/18 and 2018/19. And to work out the average, HMRC will add together the total trading profit for the 3 tax years, then divide by 3 and use this to calculate a monthly amount. I would stress the maximum amount is up to £2,500 per month. It's payable for 3 months, and the grant will be paid directly into your bank account in one instalment, and it's likely to be in June. You cannot apply for this scheme yet. HMRC will contact you if you're eligible for the scheme and invite you to apply online. Most accountants will already have an Excel calculator, so we'll be able to calculate for you the amount that you're likely to get. Once HMRC have received your claim and you're eligible for the grant, they will contact you to tell you how much you will get and the payment details. So the topics that I've covered, there's much more information available online. Sometimes we find that looking at government announcements, they include jargon, they're difficult to understand, but actually I'd encourage you to have a look at them. They are, for once, written in clear English and easy to comprehend. What I suggest you do is start with gov.uk/coronavirus for England and businesswales.gov.wales for Welsh Government pronouncements. You'll find a wealth of information there, and it's quite easy to get signposted from one thing to another. A few final observations. At this difficult time, cash flow is king. So do take advantages within your company or your partnership of the HMRC concessions to defer any tax payments. The big one, of course, is VAT, but it might be to do with income tax payments in July 20. Anything that you can defer, I would defer. There are concessions around them, and interest and penalties have been waived. So do have a look, and my good colleague Nick Charnley will inform you of those. On a private basis, personally, again, just look after your cash. It's important that you stay safe and you keep alive. So if there is something to do with deferring mortgage payments or anything like that, or loans, do talk to the banks. Everybody has been told to be receptive by the government and is being used. So I'd encourage you to just spend a little bit of time, have a look around and see what help you can get. So finally, really, we're very grateful to all our clients at Ellis Co. Our business depends on their business, and their success is also our success as well. So we're all in this together. So my message to everyone is stay safe, and the team here at Ellis Co. Happy to help you overcome any challenges that you have with the coronavirus and to come out the other side. So thank you for listening to this, and if we can help further in anything, please either get in touch. The team at Ellis Co. working remotely, it's actually worked much better than I'd ever imagined. We have had issues with the broadband in city centre Chester, but I have to say we've had that for many years anyway without any successful outcome. And I think my greatest challenge has been using the IT and coming up to speed with that, which unfortunately I probably avoided having so much help from all the good colleagues at Ellis Co. So I wish you all safe, all best wishes to your family, and we're here to help if you want us. Thank you very much for listening.